All right, y'all. So we're at the house working on some stuff today. This car I chose to bring to the house because you guys have probably seen it floating around social media. This car has done like a world tour. It's been to the billet stop in Texas. It's got painted out in Texas. It's been to the Sunroof Guru. It's got a panoramic roof in it. It's coming to me, then after me, it's going to Sounds by the Pound, and the client is actually in New Jersey. So he sent his car basically on a world tour. I didn't take it to the shop because it's like freshly painted, and the stuff that needs to be done to it was pretty simple, so I could do it from home. I didn't need the lift or any major tools or anything like that, so I decided I'll do it at home. I got an extra garage. This is actually the garage that the wagon's in, but the wagon's down at my detailer getting cleaned up. So I'll give you guys an update on that once I get it back and stuff like that. So let me show you guys a video of the car now, and so you can kind of check it out, see how it looks, and then I'll show you the changes that we're making. There it is. It's a little dirty from sitting. Matching steering wheel in there. He's got the Willwood 6 pistons. So I'm gonna be wiring up these turn signal mirrors. It's got the 4 piston Willwoods in the rear, 7-inch lip, big cap. These are the Twisted Maglias Forgiatos. It's got all the matching emblems. So just want to take a video of like the car before. This is pretty normal. The bubbling on the spoiler, if you don't prep these spoilers right, they will bubble. So interior needs to be done. So it's pretty much a mess. We're gonna be putting the shifter, custom shifter knob from Adrian Rogers in here. We're putting a Dakota Digital in it, and then we're gonna be doing wiring up these turn signal mirrors. I think I have another video on that, but I'll show you guys how I wire them up, run them through the doors and stuff like that. So we'll start off with the Dakota Digital, and I still got to get a bin module for it and some other stuff, but for the most part, should be able to get at least the turn signal mirrors done today, and get the basic wiring done for the Dakota Digital. So when I do the Dakota Digitals, I like to get the mileage before I take it apart so I can save it. But this one, we got no mileage right now. So I'll see if he wants me to send it to the guy who can fix the mileage and get the actual mileage off of it, or we'll just leave it as is. But did find something kind of interesting. This little push to start button. But what's weird is you can also just turn the key. So not quite sure what the point of this thing was, but you know, one more thing that I got to take apart. So I got all 4 bolts out of the cluster. We'll get the cluster out. We'll get the lower dash out. I'm actually gonna take this upper dash out because I forgot he does want me to wrap this. So I'm gonna order the material from Adrian Rogers, get him to wrap it kind of like how my car is, with the, you know, the stitching around and everything like that. So, and then we'll do it with the burgundy stitch to match this. So I think it'll be pretty cool. And he has a cup holder for the center console. We'll wire that up too. So I know this car is going to Red Sounds by the Pound. Not sure quite what he's gonna be doing with it, but we'll try to get as much done as we can. And then it's also got the panoramic roof up here. So it's got a panoramic roof all the way through. I'm not gonna mess with it. Last car that came in, I opened the panoramic roof and it wouldn't close, so I'm not gonna mess with it this time. I mean, the sunroof guy, he ended up fixing it, but it was just like, man, the fact that it broke when I had it was annoying. So I'll start getting everything apart and kind of go from there. right, so now we got it all stripped down. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do something a little different. So I normally put the brain for the Dakota Digital under here, but it's always a little tight and kind of hard to mess with. So I think since I had to take this off anyway, I think I'm gonna put it up here somewhere. I think it'll fit fine, maybe down in here or down in here, I don't know, or I may just put it in the regular spot. But I did figure out what this wire is, why it's connected. So it looks like this is a bypass to the starter. So if you guys are having like passkey issues or stuff like that, this will bypass the passkey system and all that altogether. So you may be able to, I'll test it on another car, but we might be able to tap that signal straight from the key straight to the starter wire over there and bypass it altogether, and that could be like a permanent fix to the passkey issue instead of having to mess with the relay, not the relay, the what you call it, resistors and all that stuff. So let me start getting these out. These are where we're going to tap into all the signals that's going to go into the brain box. So we'll get all these cut out, labeled, marked, so I know what I need, and then we'll start wiring everything up. All right, so here is the diagram list for the cluster. And so what we're going to do is just cross-reference it with the wires on here and on this side. And like I know the blue and the green, what those go for, and the gray is the fuel pump. However, with these Impalas, it's hit or miss with the fuel pump sending unit. Sometimes they go right and it reads right, other times it doesn't. So what I started doing was I started running a separate sending unit wire straight all the way back to the pump and a separate ground. So hopefully that'll fix it, because you only need 2 wires on here. You need fuel send and the ground, and I think just the ground. So no, yeah, fuel negative and ground. I'm sorry, and sending unit. So normally you would hook it up to the gray wire over here, but I started running a separate wire to it. So we'll start getting this marked out. You can do this many different ways. I've done several. I normally just grab a bunch of pink wire and just run it all to the box and just label it. I got some masking tape and a Sharpie, and we'll start tapping into these wires and just making them long enough until I decide exactly where I'm gonna put the brain. So all right, so using the little key or whatever, I was able to, and I'll post it so you guys can either screenshot it or take a picture of it on the TV. But these are all the wires that you need. So we got MIL is malfunction illumination lamp, aka check engine light. What do we got? High beam indicator, left turn signal, your powered keyed source ignition, and I think the dimmer is around here somewhere. I got dimmer as well. I think this is a dimmer over here. No, it's high beam. Here's dimmer. Ignition. I just did the dimmer. No. Oh, here it is. Dimmer. And these are all corresponded with these here. So nothing too crazy. So you can either cut them. You can use a tap. I just like to gut them because it's a more secure connection. Like I have the little alligator clips on mine, and my dimmer wire is in tight and it annoys the hell out of me. So I left enough wire. Should you want to go back to the factory cluster, you can. And then over here is super simple. We just got power and ground, constant power and ground, and then your right turn signals. So I'm going to wrap all this back up with electrical tape, clean it up, tuck it away, and then we have our leads that'll go into this box here. So there aren't a lot of them that you need coming from the from this. So normally you would do the fuel, which is the gray wire on the right hand side, but again, I run my separate. I started running my fuel sender and ground separate, so we'll run that from here all the way to the back, from this box all the way to the back to the fuel pump. Oil pressure will be this wire here, so this will have these 3 here that goes into the oil pressure, and that plugs into a sensor on the engine block. This is for adjust and switch. That's for the toggle switch that we mount under the steering wheel here. Speed out we don't need, warning we don't need, tack we don't need, accessory power, that's your switch power, constant power, that's the red wire, ground, you know, dimmer, that's going to be for your illumination. When you turn the headlight switch on here, it turns the cluster to wherever you set it. You got your check engine, brake we don't need, high beams we got, left, right we got, and then that's it. These other ones you don't have to worry about. The gear, the one wire, that's for another accessory that Dakota sells. Cruise control, these cars don't have light for cruise control, so we don't have to worry about that. Weight, I don't know what that's for, maybe for like a diesel application with the glow plugs. Brake, I don't know what that's for, maybe the brake light, but I don't ever hook it up. Warning, I don't know what that's for, I'll never use it. And then on this side we would just have the display cable that goes to the actual cluster, and then this auxiliary plug, this will be for the BIM module. So as far as our speed, tack, temperature, we'll get all that from the PCM. So yeah, normally if you want to hook up the external Dakota Digital coolant temp sensor, you would plug it in here to water send and water negative. But since we're going to use the BIM module, it will grab all that information from the computer, so it'll be a lot more accurate. So I'll just hook all this up just to make sure it powers on and the turn signals and all that fun stuff works, and then we'll work on getting the oil pressure sensor plumbed and the wire ran and all that good stuff. There's actually a tool that Joe made at the shop to actually do that, because these have a weird, you know, there's no way to like put a socket on this, so the where you would grip is right here. Is kind of a stupid design. I mean, it's easy if the engine's out of the car, but with the oil pressure being at the back of the block, it's kind of difficult. But I'll show you with the tool that Joe made. I'll grab it some point this week and we'll get this installed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna plumb these in here to this, make sure it turns on, make sure the cluster, you know, the turn signals and all that fun stuff works, and then we'll wrap up all this wiring and then figure out where we're gonna mount the brain. All right, so you can kind of see what we got hooked up. So we got our, we got our accessory power, constant power, ground. We got the switch hooked up. This is for the toggle switch to adjust the settings, and then nothing else is here for now. The oil pressure sensor will go in here, and then when we hook up the fuel pump sending unit and ground, it'll be here. We got our Cat 5 data cable here that goes to the cluster, and then we got dimmer, check engine, high beam, left, right, and that's it. Very simple. So as soon as I find the keys here, we will test it. Now this is my first time turning it on camera. I have not tested it yet. Still trying to get used to this gimbal. So let's see what happens. Hey, so we got that. Hit the button, get that check engine light off. So let's see if the turn signals work. All right, we got left. We got right. Let's see if the dimmer works. Oh, you have to set that in the settings, but nothing else will work. Voltage works. We got voltage, but that should be all. That should be the only thing that will come up, because everything else needs to be set. So once we get everything put in, I just want to make sure it turned on like it's supposed to, turns off like it's supposed to, and that's it. And I may need to grab the ignition source from a different wire, because this one's only showing 11 volts for some reason, so I'm gonna grab it from another one. There's another one over here, and maybe this one may have a different, the actual correct voltage. I'm not sure if it grabs it from the constant or the ignition, but I may just wait until I put the BIM module in there, and that'll kind of show us, you know, everything. So that's kind of like a brief overview. I just wanted to do a quick video on it, especially on this car. It's a really cool car. The turn signal mirrors I will show you in the next video. I don't have the right tools that I need to fish this through. I usually use these big cable ties, and I tie it and push it through. So I don't have those. Well, I might, you know, I might have 2 of them in there. Let me check. If I have 2 of them in there, then I may extend this video and show you guys how to wire up these turn signal mirrors. I've done it before. It's not hard. So we will we'll get to that, and then we'll figure out where we're gonna mount this. Like I said, it's all messy right now, just so I could figure out where I was gonna put it and kind of go from there. But yeah, I think I'll end this video here. Just kind of get something out there so you guys can see, and we will continue our work on this beautiful, beautiful 96. So shout out to my guy for sending it to me and taking this thing on a world tour. I'm honored that I am one of the stops. I mean, he's gone to some heavy hitters. I mean, I didn't even show you guys the suspension back here. Look at that. Look at that frame. That's billet stop, notched beautifully, painted. It's on coilovers. You know, he's got the frame tucked right here to clear these huge rotors. So, you know, even up front, they got the frame painted beautifully. Upper control arms, the whole tubular setup with the coilovers. So it's gonna be nice. So yeah. Those are the turn signal mirrors. All right, y'all, so that's it for this video. I will post the little key that I use to, so you know what wires you have to hook up and what color they are and everything like that. And you know, that's it for the Dakota Digital on this one. Once I clean it up and do the turn signal mirrors, I'll make another video, but I know I haven't put out a video in a while, and I've got several messages over the last few months about putting a Dakota Digital in these. So I went back to my other video and I wanted to tackle some things from the previous video on this one that I didn't on the previous one. So that's it for this one, and I'll see y'all in the next one.